Alrighty, are we tuned in? Yes, we are. So this is my COVID look. I like to call it my new Star Wars uniform. So, I pledge of allegiance to the United States of America and the Constitution upon which it stands. I swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States of America against all enemies, both foreign and domestic. That's part of who I am as a human being. That's the oath that I took. That's who I continue to remain to be. The glasses. The mask. They're not so necessary anymore. I got this ranch. I'm COVID free. Free to be me. You know, when this all went down, when it all first happened, I was already set. You know, I've been learning about self-care for a while. I was used to living in isolation. That was how I'd chosen to live my life. I had a trailer. Still have a trailer. Went to the desert. It's fucking great. Went to Colorado. That was cool too, man. Back to the desert. And then up to the mountains. The forest. Washington. It's fucking great. You needed to be away from people, you know. Screaming in the middle of the night, screaming into the ether, letting it all go, you know, working my own shit out. You know, living with COVID, it's a lot like, self-care, you know. It's all the same shit. It's all the same shit that I already learned. You know? It's the way I've been living my life. It's no big deal for me. I mean, I've always, not always, but in recent years, I've perceived people as dangerous. And treated them as if they had an infection, you know, kind of like it is. Now, I've treated them that way. Because it hasn't been, my life has been easier, you know, doing the things that I needed to do and make myself more complete. It was all part of this quest that I started. And I fell in love, you know, and I ventured into my own spirit. The thing that happened in Amsterdam a long time ago when I had all the success in the world, you know, and here we are. It's an interesting time. It gives us an opportunity to have a discussion on maybe a different kind of level, considering that a lot of us are living in a place of self-care right now. A lot of us are socially disconnected. Not all of us are. You know, my daughter, she works at the mall. I go to the mall every once in a while. And I was at the mall just with my son to go see her. And I couldn't believe it, man. Just crawling with young people. looking to mate. And it was evident and everywhere. You know, and it was time to get out of that piece. I can do without the malls for a little while. You know, for me, getting sick, I had to come back. I had to bridge back to this reality somewhat in order to give myself treatment. That was my responsibility. I'm a father. I'm not just me, you know. I mean, and I'm an important part of this community too. I have a lot to offer. So, in those terms, you know, it's an interesting time for me now that everybody else around me is actually sick. I'm becoming closer to my community out of necessity, just in order to continue my own existence. Not really paying attention to the news or any of that stuff. You know, I've had it in spurts here and there. Whatever. I heard some shit about Kanye. Kanye, brother, if you are out there, I'm with you, man. Be yourself. Drop the labels, forget the bullshit. Don't let Kim run the show. Well, maybe you should let Kim run the show. She might be a better president. But you could be a great first man. That's for sure. You know, the idea is the right idea, you know, and I'm down. I'm leaking. And I'm down with Kanye. So I don't really know what happened with all of that, but I mean, as far as the idea is concerned, yeah, man, let's get all the voices out there. Let's everybody have a big conversation and just figure this out. Because we're in this interesting space right now where things they're different because we're not all enslaved by our work. I mean, we're all worried about that happening because the unemployment insurance benefit that has paid us all to stay at home and the leniency that we've been shown by our societies with capitalism to this point have allowed us a certain degree of comfort. But that's about ready to change. And that hard discussion is happening in Congress right now. And we have to figure out where we're going to be. And we got this election coming up. Or maybe we don't. I mean, I guess it depends on who you talk to. And that's maybe a little troublesome. Yeah, that's maybe a little worrisome. You know, we all have our own perceptions of reality. Everybody has their own world. We all see things our own way and make our own choices. I've lived with a fear of oppression from both sides for a long time, actively, using that fear to guide me, to inform my choices, to make me a stronger person. I'm sitting here now because of that. It's a healthy thing, you know, from my perspective. I love this porch. I'm just sitting out here enjoying my moments. It's beautiful. Like I said before, it's my little slice of heaven. For now. So, COVID. Lots of people dying. You know, that's not just the people that are, you know, it's not just the people that are dying, it's like the economic consequences. And there's other health consequences too, besides just COVID. But the economic consequences, That stuff I know about because I understand economics. I followed this stuff for years. I'm an expert in my own mind. I've got 20,000 hours expertise easy. And what I can say about that is that we know every time 1,000,000 people becomes unemployed, that's 10,000 people that are going to die of suffering related to that unemployment. That's a lot of dead people, man. You look at what we just did. Fuck, how many million people was that? I don't know. I haven't really paid all that much attention to the news. Is it up to 60 million yet? It's got to be a lot. 600,000 people dead as a result of the unemployment. So we got to do something about that. And right now is definitely the time. And hopefully the Democrats will battle hard for that, to get that included and get it included quickly. So we can at least have a little bit more time to come to an informed choice of what we would like to do as a people. So, this alter ego, this thing, the voice of Antifa, well, I guess it's really only the interpretation of one man. Speaking of my own experience, really more than anything, because I can relate to this in my own kind of ways, with choices that I have made in my own life. You know, part of the idea is that we're all responsible for ourselves, for the things that we say, for the things that we do as people. Not somebody else, or some other possible or some other interpretation. Just what we do. It's why there's no organization, no affiliation, none of that. It's a bunch of powerful people moving around doing their own things. They're aware, like me. I can't really say I'm the face of Antifa because they're all around you. They're everywhere. I see them, don't you? So, that's my take on the whole coronavirus thing. Kind of where it's put me. Where's it put you? It's giving me a chance to get to know who I am. I was already doing that anyways. I know who I am. This is who I am. Who are you?